Well, first of all, I gotta say that t-shirt and baseball hat program was a total fiasco. I only got one naked picture, and it was some old guy from Cleveland, Ohio, and the picture wasn't even sharp, you know. Like, if you send a naked picture to someone, you know, at least make sure you use quality equipment. And speaking about quality equipment, if you saw my unboxing video, this is my new Canon 70D, the same one I had last year, and I got back to this model because it has a superior fast and very quiet autofocusing system. And you know, I've been looking at this camera because back when I had it last year, I didn't know much about, you know, this kind of photography, DSLR, but now thanks to that Nikon I know much more, and now I can appreciate this. This is a really, basically, you know, semi-professional camera, as they all are, but this one has much more features, much more customizable, so compared to Nikon D52 and D5300, and the videos are better. So later on you'll see I'll do a sample video with this camera, but just as a comparison, you know, you can tell an expensive camera when it has lots of buttons on the outside. So instead of going in the menu, you know, you can use the buttons directly, so which of course makes the process much quicker, you know, when you need to change a function. And it has a touch screen, which everybody says is a big thing, and actually I used it a couple of times. It's really handy, you know, you can focus, and then also it has I'm using now my smartphone to operate the GoPro. Like, I can stop recording, change the settings, and this thing has the same thing. It's called EOS Remote, and I just downloaded it for free from Google Play, installed it on my phone, so I'll be able to do the same thing with this camera. You know, like remote operation. Very cool. So I deleted the video because I was not too happy with that picture from Cleveland. So no more t-shirts, no more baseball hats. You guys blew the chance, okay? Now, about looking for a job, so I started looking last week, like seriously, you know, trying to get back from vacationing into trucking, and I'm between trucks, so I cannot do trucking in my own truck because it's in New Jersey, right? And speaking about New Jersey, that guy called me who bought the truck, and he said he cannot register the truck. They're having some problems with you know, importing procedure, and he says where they're asking him for proof of import, like some import documents. And I explained to him, right, that's what happened. I spent 2 hours at the border. The guy said, oh, American truck, US plate, go, you know. And then he says, okay, I'll give your can I give you a phone number to the girl, девочка, to the girl from the GAI. He calls them GAI, which is like Russian term, you know, basically DOT. And I thought he was kidding. So okay, I said, yeah, give him my phone number. And he said they were asking me for my social insurance number, no, social security number, right? And I said, well, I'm not, I know you, but I'm not too comfortable, you know, giving out my that number, because that's how, you know, trouble can happen. And he said, okay, they're gonna call you. And my phone rings, and a pure Russian voice, and like in Russian, female voice says, Serежа, меня зовут Юля. My name's Julia, right? And we start talking. Turns out that's why he called them девочка из ГАИ, a girl from Russian DOT, because they're all Russian. So our people are everywhere. So basically, she asked me for my like to help her out with this, and at least, you know, I give him like the last 4 digits of my social. I said, we don't have SCN, we have SIN, social insurance number, in Canada, right? And so hopefully they'll be able to straighten things out for this guy. But that's just a warning, you know, if you buy a vehicle in another country, there's always some, you know, complicated bureaucracy involved in moving that truck or car you know, let's say from US to Canada, from Canada to US. It's not easy. Now, speaking about the job, once again, I find it's best to get people to call you instead of calling them. So I put a job wanted ad on Kijiji saying that AZ driver looking for work, and I already had some calls. I also, a friend suggested putting an ad on DriverLink, which is a free website, driverlink.com. You put your resume and then people start calling you, and I had a few calls from that. And then Canadian government has a website called Job Bank. I think it's jobbank.gov.ca or something like that. But if you search for Job Bank, if you're in Canada, it often has pretty good offers from employers. And again, once again, it's free. And I changed cameras. Now we're recording with Canon EOS 70D, and you probably can see the difference in exposure. And I'm using fully automatic mode. Actually, this is aperture priority, so I use the very shallow aperture, like small number, to basically try to blur the background. And I think I'm looking at my face on the screen, and it's much lighter. Like there's more color in the picture. And I'm sorry if I'm looking to the side because my screen is over there, but we're just going to check. And it has a face tracking feature, so the focus is following me as I move through the frame. But to continue this update, so yeah, so online services are pretty good when you get people to call you. The only thing is, I did get the results, but nobody wants to hire me for, you know, 3-4 weeks, because today is what, 27th, and my truck is coming probably in just what, in a couple of weeks, right? What's the date today? 27th, yeah. So the truck is going on the conveyor September 30th. Then I'm gonna get it probably in 2 weeks. And like there's not much time left, right? But I need to make some money for the down payment on the new one. And all these people that call me, they say, no, we want you to be a company driver on a permanent basis, and they're willing to pay you like sign-up bonuses. I said, I already have a truck coming and I have a trailer, so that's not gonna work. And then the second type of offers I'm getting is oh, why don't you sign up as an owner-operator? You're gonna have a brand new truck, right? I said, yeah, but do you hire people with their own trailers? And they all say, no, we'll give you a trailer. Like, what am I supposed to do with a brand new 55-ton RGN I just got? You want me to pull your flatbed that you bought in an auction for 15,000 bucks? So, but the job search is going on. Because, as they say in Russia, не имей 100 рублей, а имей 100 друзей. Basically, best to have 100 friends than 100 rubles. Well, I'm not sure about rubles. Maybe if you had dollars, maybe it's best to have $100 than 100 friends. But that's what we say in Russia. You know, it's best to have friends than money. And so this guy that left Landstar, he joined a small company in Ontario, and I talked to him, and he kind of like talked to his dispatch or the operations manager, and hopefully I'm gonna see them Monday. And they have a truck sitting. I can drive their truck and pull their trailer maybe for a couple of weeks till my truck arrives, and then I can start trucking, you know, with them until I get my things finished to be a carrier. But right now I'm not sure about that. That's like the ultimate goal. I just don't know if I'll be able to pull it off right now, right this minute. 1 second. Sorry, a wind blew my little bag for the camera. So that's the job offer, right? Oh, and I started looking at, you know, since now I have a great camera, I started looking at the maybe I can make some money with the camera, and on Kijiji they have you know, services offered, and I started looking at the photo video services, and one bar advertised the job. They were looking for someone to do filming Friday and Saturday for a couple of hours, downtown bar, not filming, shooting pictures. And they say, we provide the equipment, email us how much money you want. Okay, so I sent them, I said, I'll do it for $100 a night. Didn't get a reply or nothing. Then another guy says, posted an ad in Toronto saying that he's a men's fashion consultant, and he's looking for not he, but it was not clear, like his name was weird. It's not clear if it's a he or she, and if it's a he and he's a men's fashion consultant, of course you know what that means, but you know, I don't care. But I sent, and he's looking for someone to video him, this person, every second week, and you're gonna show like best spots in Toronto where men hang out, like where to go, you know, some bars, restaurants, you know, some shows, stuff like that. And the final video, get this, will be I quote, 1 to 2 minutes long, and paid. He will pay for this. Okay. You know, I got a nice camera, right? So I said I can do any kind of video, even like a feature film with this one. So I sent the guy an email and I said, have you found anyone yet? And his reply kind of startled me, and I almost fell off the chair, because it said, no, I'm still interviewing. Please email me your phone number, because I have to ask you a few questions before we meet for an interview in person. So once again, he's looking for someone to help. Oh, and the name was, of course, a male name, you know, very long name, much worse than mine, you know. No offense to immigrants, but I mean, I'm just, you know, I'm not comfortable going somewhere where the guy is a fashion consultant shooting videos about fashions, and he wants to interview you, and he wants to ask you a whole bunch of questions on the phone to make 1 minute long video. Anyway, so that's my video career, and I guess that's it. I talk about the job, photo services. Oh, and one guy, he saw me, I was doing a couple of these videos, and that Uzbek hat, right? And one guy sent me an email saying that he thought I was from their parts, that I'm from Uzbekistan. I said, no, I just got this hat as a gift from one Uzbek guy, right? And he said, okay. And he also asked me, he says he's coming to Chicago, Illinois, and he wants to start a trucking company. And he asked me, what's the best truck? He says, what truck should I buy? Volvo? And he only mentioned 3 brands: Volvo, Freightliner, or Peterbilt. Well, I said, out of those 3, I would go with the Freightliner, because they're cheaper, and the latest models get amazing fuel economy, right? And he replies, you know, saying, what about Volvo? I thought Freightliner is basically a piece of, you know, not very good, and Volvo is most comfortable. Yeah, of course Volvo is comfortable, but you know, are you looking to make money, or are you looking to drive around and just, you know, look at girls, you know? Volvo is very heavy, because they still use steel caps, just like Western Star, so the trucks are very heavy, which you will realize is not a good feature. And yeah, they're comfortable, but they're expensive to fix, and they have these small electric problems. I don't know, maybe they fix them, but it's a very complicated piece of machinery, right? So it's not as simple as maybe other trucks. So I don't know, I would never buy a Volvo, you know. I think it's good if you're just kind of driving around, you know, like showing off, but if you want to work and make money, I think out of those 3, I think Freightliner would make it's a light truck, it's easy to find parts, easy to repair, and the latest models, I think they're pretty comfortable too. But of course I'm going with a Mac, so now I'm a Mac guy, and I think that one is better than Volvo, even though it's owned by the same company. But that's just my my opinion, because I took it for a test drive, right? A similar truck to what I'm buying, and I really liked how it handled and how quiet the cab was. So that's my personal preference. But so that was a quick update from Cambridge, Ontario. Thanks for watching. Be safe.